in a week or so, things were significantly different.
We moved a lot of things along.
Everybody took great pride in all the successes.
And we had a lot of fun.
The Commitment to Quality program is a very wide-ranging series of initiatives around issues like patient safety, the quality of medicine that we provide, the quality of care provided by our physicians, the credentials of the physicians, the efficiency with which we operate.
This program really allows employees for the first time to do not only what they want, but also stuff that they wish that they could do.
Sometimes we can't see the forest through the trees. We're so caught up in running our hospital that it's hard to pinpoint areas that need improvement.
My vision for the commitment to quality, Tenet's commitment to quality, is that it should become the centerpiece of Tenet's strategy going forward. We've had a lot of discussions in the last 12 months about strategy in this industry and strategy for Tenet, and the only really truly sustainable an excellent strategy for a company in our industry of providing healthcare is quality.
What excites me is the fact that for the first time, it's a level playing field. Every employee is actually equal in this program, and every employee really helps to determine the success of it.
It's something that people can feel good about when they come to work, knowing that they're working for a hospital or for a group of hospitals or for a hospital company that values quality so highly. And I think that it's absolutely the right thing to do, and I think that we will do well by doing this.
The physician's initial reaction was they were a little skeptical.
I also had some concerns that you know, that people would be defensive or concerned that they weren't doing a good job and might not be apt to take on the whole initiative.
We've had flow studies done in the ER in the past, and we all kind of knew where the backlogs were and what was going on.
There were a lot of broken processes here, and my feeling was that this was one way for us to get back on track.
We've seen a lot of projects where we were going to change things and we were going to do this better and everything, and it works for a month or two, and then, or the plan sounds good but it never quite gets implemented right.
Then they were involved with the steering committee, and they saw that the administration was on board. They met the gentleman from the throughput team, and they started getting excited about the whole project.
And once we moved the focus for the physician to the patient quality issue, they were easy to buy into it. The physicians could see how that would benefit them, meaning they could get to their office on time. They could benefit the patient by having their procedure done on time. They were on board. They always are a little skeptical when they think they're doing something for the hospital, but once it's for them and the patient, the physicians do a good job of coming on board.
The implementation process started with a lot of information gathering, and we looked at a lot of different statistics and looked at physician patterns. We looked at how staff reacted to processes that happened in the organization.
The implementation of the first line initiatives went really fast, went very smooth for the most part. A few little bumps, but everybody held hands together from department to department, from shift to shift, and made it happen. It was a group effort that made them happen.
The implementation was much better than I had anticipated, and it was quicker than I anticipated. It was almost like a blur that 1 week, in a week or so, things were significantly different.
We have seen quite a change in our diversion hours in the ER. Last winter, we had about 200 hours of diversion time. Since we started this, we have not had 1 hour of hospital diversion.
The other thing was we had a high number of patients who were leaving without being seen. We've reduced that by 50%. We haven't been on diversion in 2.5 months. So we've really been able to impact it and make a big difference.
We learned how to get patients in the beds quickly, get the rooms fixed, clean quickly.
Patients that have been here in the past have noticed that moving through the system has gone a lot quicker.
We find that the units are talking with each other more. They're all working together. Our goal is to get patients where they need to be as soon as we can. And because of that, all lines of communication have been opened. The nurses upstairs are trying to pull the patients up to them instead of us trying to push the patients.
When they saw that the turnaround time from a dirty bed to a clean bed, it started off at 6 hours. And we were able, within a week, I believe, to turn that down to 30 minutes. And that was our goal. And I mean, we just all took great pride that we got there in just a week.
And you can tell it from even our old-time doctors are saying, you're all doing things very differently. People look very relaxed. And I think we're getting to our goal.
The schedule has run a lot more smoothly than it did before. The things that were different was the ability to schedule cases in the operating room when I wanted to operate or when I needed to operate, which had been a big problem in the past. But I also noticed a difference just in the staff as far as trying to get things done fairly quickly. And I noticed that almost immediately.
The sustainability on this for me is the ability for me to monitor on a daily basis the progress that we're making, and to understand when sometimes you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and to be able to identify problem areas on a real-time basis and respond to them quickly before they become problematic.
Everybody is able to see a tool daily that measures exactly where we are. It tells us where yesterday's date what was, and we can look at things. Since I'm so involved with emergency room, we know if we had any diversion, we know how many patients came through, we know how many were admitted, we know how long it took them to be admitted. Since we've had no diversion, we're seeing that, and we can also look at it a month to date.
We've now gone to the fine details. We're going down to see the scheduling, making sure who our doctors are, who are the ones that give us the high volumes, who are also the ones that we see occasionally. What can we do to bring them back to scheduling more cases? We've maintained with the preference cards on the, as far as the doctors are concerned. We have team leaders who now have, on downtimes, time to go and make sure that they kept on par or kept updated all the time.
Hospitals should expect to have an additional group of arms and legs, resources, training, things that they've really been asking for years.
But what excites me most about the commitment to quality is that it not only is something that is absolutely essential to do, but it's something that very much is worth doing. And I think all of us who are involved in healthcare can get excited about improving quality, to share best practices from the hospital back to the region. It's an aspiration that feels good. It's also the right thing to do.
It makes so much sense. It'll improve your customer service scores. We've already seen ours going up because the patients can tell the system's working better and working as well as it can, and that you will continue to improve. Don't be fearful. It's really a fun thing to do.
Take a deep breath. It seems overwhelming in the beginning that the initial data might report it a little different than you're used to. But once you understand the actual parameters have changed and measure it that way, it really works out, and it's quite easy to implement.
Nurses are really a critical element in the whole care continuum, and nurses have been asking for a lot of things. What this program does is actually it meets nurses' needs and really helps promote their roles in our company and in our hospitals.
Nursing is an incredibly important part of the commitment to quality. Of course, our nurses are absolutely the front line of providing health care in our hospitals.
I would tell nurses that Tenet is a place that really believes that quality is foremost, and actually the vehicle to ensure quality is really our nurses, our frontline workers, and we need to ensure that we're providing the resources necessary for them, the training.
They're the people that the patients identify with the most and remember once they're gone.
Would I do it again? Absolutely.
We would certainly do this again. In a heartbeat, I would do this again.
I would do it again in a minute.
I would do this again in a minute.